So we're joined by Karl and Quirky, and we're going to be discussing the up and coming show that these guys have put together. So let's start off with, why did you come up with the show? What's it called, and what's it about?
Right, the show, it came about. We met at a show last year, and he also met my business partners. We all sat down. We was chatting about how the shows were good, weren't they? Shows were amazing.
Yeah.
How we made friends and we loved them. But we thought it just came about. Just literally sitting. We sat around the fire having a chat, and we decided that we can do this. But when we sort of look at it, we are actually within the community, putting on a show for the community type thing. Okay. And it was really spun off from there, didn't it? Really.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Vanlife festivals for quite a few years, and I went to my first last year, and then I went to shows that Karl was at and got to know him briefly. And at the back end of last year, after travelling Scotland, I thought I'll go down to Stratford and finish it off. And Karl was there, and he said, "Oh, come and join us." And he introduced me to a load of people, and from there we went to another one that Karl was at. Didn't get home till Christmas. I was supposed to go back at end of September, and I was just on the road, and you're out there and you're meeting all these people. And what I liked about it, and what I didn't expect, was how the van life community supports each other, looks after each other.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter who you are, whether you've got money or no money. Everybody just looks after each other, and it is such a great atmosphere. And I think it was here, wasn't it? Because this was the last one.
That's right. Yeah.
It was which would have been the end of September.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes, it was September, and it was leaving here, going home, there was a convoy of 6 vehicles.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to go home.
No one wanted to go home.
Last one, and we said, wouldn't it be great if we could have a venue that we could do something throughout the winter months, so that people could get out of the winter blues. Yeah. And I ended up in a convoy with you going back to Eastbourne, and that's when we started talking. We had a couple of meetings, and we started talking about van life and our experience of it.
Yeah.
And said, well, why don't we look at doing something ourselves? But the ethos was about this supportive thing that van life does. It already does it. It supports other people. So we said, why don't we do something with that ethos and put a little bit more structure into it?
Yeah, the thing is, not everybody is as privileged as a lot of us to be able to say we're doing it because we want to. Some people are forced into it. Some people, through marriage breakups, through loss of jobs, all sorts, end up living in vans because they have to. Yeah. So one guy I met in particular when I first started, and it was actually one of these meets, and this was like years ago, I met him and he had this beautiful van inside. It was so very clad in, and it was put together. I would say it was beautiful. That was the only way I could describe it. And he said to me, he lived in it full time, and it was only a sort of medium wheelbase, low top. I think it was a Vauxhall. I think it was a Movano. And he said to me, I said, how did you get into... And, I was new. My van wasn't even started. It just had a sort of foil barrier. And he said, I had no choice. I said, you had no choice. He said, I split up with my missus. She threw me out. And this was my work van.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I said, okay. And he said, I was literally sleeping on the floor on sandbags and all sorts in the back of the van because I had nothing else, with blankets and duvets. And I said, you're joking? He said, no. He said, I was kicked out. And he said, from that point till now, I've been building this van all the way through. And it was absolutely amazing. And I said, didn't you think about maybe finding somewhere to live? He said, I tried. He said, I couldn't. He said, I thought in the end I might as well stay in my van. And he said, once I'd stayed in my van, built the van, got the heating, got this, got that, he said, I loved it. I didn't want to move back out. He said, I don't want to be with anybody. I'm happy on my own. And again, so I realised then, and then I started meeting more and more people, especially at these South Central meets. I got a feel for a lot of people that had no choice. And some people are sleeping in like almost bare shells sometimes, and I'm thinking, oh my God. And when we spoke about it, we realised that there is a need out there for help.
Yeah, we came. I came across quite a lot of people. There was 2 young girls down in Cornwall. I was just coming off a beach car park, and they had a Ford Transit van, and I was pulling off in this with my motorbike on the back, and I heard one say to the other, "Oh wow, look at that! I bet they have everything in that. Oh, they've got a motorbike on the back." And I turned around and I saw a white Transit, and I've got a white Transit self-build that I did in lockdown. And I struggled to get that. I didn't have the money then to have something like this. So I stopped and I said, "Would you like to have a look inside?" And they came in, and little girl was bouncing up and down on chairs and what have you. And the story is that they were living in Bristol, and the rent kept going up, and they got into trouble with different things, and they got kicked out of the house. And the only place they had to go was into a van. And when I asked about the van, they hadn't got any electrics, they hadn't got anything. And I was telling them about the festivals that were coming up, and I says, there are people that will help you and support you. I says, you just need to get to the festival. I says, but you don't have to be out here on your own doing this, especially in winter.
Yeah, definitely.
I says, you can come to the festival, you'll meet so many new friends and people that will help you. And there was another girl that had spent a lot of money on a van and got ripped off, really. Somebody doing DIY vans, putting electrics in it. It turned out electrics were dangerous. Oh. And she was a single parent, spent 10 grand on a van, didn't have any money left, and being told that it was a death trap. And, people like Greg Virgo, I mean, Greg's been absolutely brilliant. And he was at the show, and I said, I'll introduce you to Greg. And to cut a long story short, he met her, and then they met here, and he got the wiring, and it cost 75 quid to put it right for the parts. And she felt guilty because she says, I didn't have any extra to give him. And when we got talking, I said, sometimes the hurdles are big to people to get over, but financially it doesn't take a massive sum just to help people get over that hurdle.
Absolutely.
And then that opens up the way forward for them, and it opens up opportunities. And I said to him, I says, if we did something ourselves and put a little bit more structure into that kind of thing, we could help and open up a lot of opportunities for people in van life that are vulnerable, that are out there.
Okay, that's good.
And as time goes by and the way the world is, I think more and more people are coming into van life, and I think there's more and more vulnerability. There's certainly a lot of mental health issues around van life.
It's about sort of help, but not always financially. Sort of, somebody might be in their van and it's coming up to winter and they can't afford to buy a heater and put a heater in. So it might be a case of, with a little fund that we're going to set up, that we can help with that. It might be a case of somebody needs some advice or needs something, and then we can sort of point them in the right direction. Signposting people in the right way.
It's just knowing that they can turn to people as well. Sometimes just knowing people. Sometimes they're quite isolated, and just knowing that there's a community out there and they know people in that community.
I suppose because it's that community, they don't feel so judged as if.
That's the great thing about the community. You're not judged.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if you, like you say, you could be driving a motorhome, you could be driving a self-build, and that's that's part of what we're going to be doing as part of another sort of project, sort of for filming. I'm driving a self-build, he's driving the motorhome. There's so many different sides to different of part of this what we're going to be filming, but we just want to make sure everybody knows that whoever they are, it doesn't matter who they are, where they come from. It might be the case of somebody's struggling that bad, and it's simply something like talking to myself, talking to Nigel, talking to you, talking to anybody, could be the difference for them going right downhill or picking them back up. So it could be a simple. So we want people to know there are people out there. There's loads of people out there, and everybody is so friendly. We don't want people. There's so many people out there on their own, not realising that there's this sort of nice buzz going on around with so many people at events like this.
It's not that we're creating this or inventing it. It's already happening. We just want to reach out to people that don't know about it, like those two young girls in Cornwall. They had no idea there was a van life community.
Yeah.
And I've met other people like that, so it's...
And sort of put them in and put people. It's almost like putting people together. It's like networking, really.
Yeah.
It's building that community that they're not afraid to say, I need a little bit of help, but don't want to go to the authorities, but a little bit of help from a general person sometimes will point them in the right direction.
It's like a lady here today, got a problem with the batteries. She goes, don't know what's wrong, and she goes, I think I need this fitted. Turned out she had one wire that wasn't joined and her solar wasn't charging. Simple as that. She had no idea. She bought the van, the part converted, and then she's bought herself a step because she likes going in out the back. She hasn't got a clue how to fit it. We've done it today. Simple as that. You've turned somebody who's sort of feeling a bit about the van, put a smile on their face, made them feel as happy as anything, and they're going to leave here. They're now getting their batteries charged, and they've just had their step put on the back, and it's not cost them a fortune.
But that also builds self-esteem, and a lot of people become isolated because they've lost the self-esteem. There's a lot of talented, experienced people out there that have been trying to do things for a long time, and they lose the confidence, they lose the way. And it just sometimes needs somebody to encourage them and say, you can do this, and what you do is absolutely amazing, and we'll help you with that.
It's a few words to them.
Yeah, it's amazing how that can change a person's confidence and start opening up opportunities for them. And that's what our event, that's what the ethos is about. It is coming to our event, networking, meeting people. And we are already talking to people, and we've already got people that are going to be involved that are musicians or craftspeople that are in situations where they need to move forward into a more positive future. And by being involved with them, with us, we will do whatever we can to help them. We will introduce them to people. We will, if they want promotional photographs, we can do that between us. We can do videos. So we a friend of ours, he's become a friend, hasn't he? That we met up at Stonehenge. We did a video for him. We put that out there. He's doing a little bit of busking now. Just impromptu. We were up at Stonehenge, and it just happened that there were a few van life people up there. And again, this time last year, I knew nobody. And I go up to Stonehenge, and suddenly there's 5 vans and 15 people sat round a campfire, and they've all come from different directions, and we all know each other one way or another. And then this guy comes down and starts playing a guitar. What an amazing night. It was absolutely brilliant. You pay good money for that sort of atmosphere. And I had a chat with him afterwards, and he says, I've always wanted to take my music a bit further, and I could do with earning a few pennies out of it. And I said, right, well, let's do something. So he's going to come and busk for us. And we're going to support him, and we'll look after him.
And again, because the show's run by, we say, van lifers ourselves, we're looking for van lifers that have got talent. Van lifers that, we've got people doing crafts and stuff, they're living and working in their van, making items. So we've said, we're going to have like a little indoor market, aren't we? Where people
the barn at Newbury Showground is that big. It's like a warehouse. I mean, we walked in it and said, God,
we just looked at each other.
What have we done?
And we were like, we stood there and went, wow.
It's as big as a field.
I've been to all these other events, literally, even sort of music festivals, and you see all these big gazebos, and even look at this barn, I thought, oh dear, this is big. A little bit bigger than that.
We've taken on a lot, but it was such a good opportunity. We couldn't resist.
You couldn't.
So you're looking for more people to get involved.
Yeah.
Leading up to that, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
About the guy here today, he's juggling and on the unicycle. He might be getting involved. So and it's anybody that's got a talent. It doesn't matter what it is. We want to hear from them. Come and see us, and if we can help put you on the show, do something with you. I mean, we have got a headline band, DJ on the Friday night, karaoke. This, you know, and we've got a great, what we call, I suppose, musical stage manager.
Yeah.
Pixie,
Yeah.
she's very, very big amongst the van life community. Everybody loves her. Everybody knows her.
Great voice.
So fantastic voice,
Yeah.
and you know, she's on board. So we've tried to choose people from the van life community to do things, get involved with it, because for me, it's about us, it's for us, and it should be run by us. Or at the end of the day, this show is not about us running it. It's nothing to do with us. There is no show without everybody in the community.
Yeah.
Because whichever event you go to, I don't care what any event, van life event you go to, it's nothing to do with the people that organise it. It's about the people that are there.
It's the people that make the atmosphere.
They are the
people
atmosphere.
make the show.
They are the atmosphere. They are the whole show. We can put on the entertainment. We can put on anything like food, drinks. Without the people, there is no show.
And we understand that people, you know, when they're planning the trips in summer and they're planning their events, there's a financial cost to that.
Yeah.
And to ask people to come to an event that's never happened before, it's quite difficult because they've all got different things on it. And we're aware of that. But we're trying to put the message across that this is their show. It's not about us, it's about them. And we're trying to do something different in our approach. It will be a van life show like other shows. There'll be very similar things going on. But the emphasis is, as we move forward past this year, we hope it will bring a value to the community that people really want to come and support it because it supports other people.
Yeah.
It creates opportunities, it provides work. We hope that people that come and help us to run this will then go on and work around other festivals. And in reality, if you've got something to give, and most people have something to give, even if it's only volunteering, you can go from festival to festival to festival throughout the season.
And we'll support anybody that, you know, because, you know, if you go and work at festivals, somebody's going to say, have you worked at other festivals? We'll be happy to give people sort of recommendations, and, you know, and we want, and again, it's about everybody in the van life community at the end of the day. It's about them. It's about what we can create as a whole thing, because at the end of the day, the reason I've done it is because I've done so many festivals, and I'm displays manager at this one, and I've done food at the others. So, and I help here. I've done so many different types that I know I've taken good bits from each of them and put them into one big show. And I'm not going to say any of them are bad. I'm not going to say, you know, what I'm saying is you learn what's good and what's not. You take on board people's feedback and what people are saying, well, there's not this or there's too much of that, you know. And I'm a great listener when it comes to that, and I store it. And
we want people to go away after the event saying, wow, that was amazing.
What a
we
show.
want kids to go away saying to mum and dad, wow, that was amazing, are we going next year? We want it to be a family thing, and this is why we're looking for so much entertainment. When you come down to the central bit of Newbury Showground where it's all going on, we want to have buskers, we want to have magicians, we want to have characters going around, and we want kids with their mouths wide open. We want to create a little bit of magic.
I'm a child, so I will say we've got Nerf wars coming. Nerf guns.
That sounds so much fun.
I can't wait.
You've got to be careful what you say to Karl because it just gets carried away.
So because I had a little bit of a hand in that, because I know somebody that used to run Nerf wars for kids around different places.
Okay.
And she said to me, why don't you put Nerf wars in? I said, well, that's not a bad idea, it's the expense. She was selling all her stuff. I went, okay. Love it. So so we got Nerf wars going on. Kids can shoot their parents, maybe even one or two YouTubers, maybe even one of the organisers. So
and again, you know, we want to hear from people. We want to have conversations with people, whether it's people that want to do trade. We're offering some great deals. If it's people, if you sat there and you're listening to this and you've got a talent and you want to showcase that and you want to open up opportunities for yourselves, come and talk to us, get in touch. We are there to listen to you, and we want to create just a really fun atmosphere, don't we? Just something amazing, really.
The whole show is about them coming, and then once to come, people want to show themselves off, and if they can do something. And you know what? There's so much talent amongst the van life community.
It's amazing.
Everywhere I go, there's someone doing something, and I'm absolutely gobsmacked by it.
So, some of the arts and crafts is amazing. I met 2 people last year at my first festival that I'd ever been to was Quirky Camp. We were queuing up to get in, and I'd arrived early the day before and gone on a campsite, and I put out a question on social media saying, who's coming, where are you travelling, are you in a lay-by, there was quite a bit of excitement about it. And this couple contacted me and said, which campsite are you on? And I told them, and they came and joined me, and they're still my friends today.
Excellent.
In fact, the queue to get in was, the atmosphere was amazing. Everybody's in each other's vans and everybody's having a cup of tea, and I'd never been to one of these things before. I think it's great. You know, I spent the whole lockdown watching Vanlife.
I think a lot of us did.
And the people, I met about 5 different people in that queue, and we're all friends today. But my friend Liz and Steve live in Cornwall, and they have a donut stall that they go around with, and what have you. They're coming to us.
Yeah.
But Liz does stitch work.
All right, okay.
And when I say stitch work, I mean amazing stitch work. She'll make stuff out of old blankets. And
I've seen
clothes
photographs.
and
Blew me away.
she sent me something this week. I have a bowl up there where I keep all my junk, my keys and my different things. And she's getting bits of old cloth and stitching them together and making bowls.
Wow.
And they're absolutely amazing. And she has no idea. She has absolutely no confidence. And I've bullied her.
And she's having a stall. She's having a stall, yeah.
And she's threatened to kill me a couple of times. And, yeah, you're watching this, aren't you, Liz? Yeah.
Mind you, I've done that. So.
And she went out and got herself a proper sewing machine.
Excellent.
And she keeps sending me these stuff, and it's like, I don't think she realises that it's going to sell like hotcakes. And she just trying to get her to believe in herself. And it just blows people away. So she's coming. She's
so
coming,
going
she's
back
gonna
to
do
that,
well.
like you said, when you was in the queue. So again, with these events, and it's true, when you're in the queues waiting, my first ever Stratford show I went to, I'm sat in the queues waiting to be ticked, and I'm sat there chatting to people and laughing, and I thought to myself, the show begins when you're waiting in the queue.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Before you
yeah,
even
yeah,
get into
yeah,
the event,
yeah.
the party's already started.
Yeah.
And again, that's what appeals to me with this. It's almost like that feeling when you're on holiday. You're getting excited about going on holiday. You go on holiday. It's that same sort of feeling when you're sat in your van waiting to get into an event. It's great. It's just you can't put a price on it.
The excitement builds on the journey up, and you get to the gate. You're like,
forward to it.
I'm here.
You suddenly realise that there's something missing out of society today. Life is so fast. Everybody is trying to survive, and it's very materialistic. And when you come to a van life event, all that goes out the window. You're in the fresh air. Your mental health is better. I've never seen so many people in one place smiling and happy. Everybody that you talk to is really polite, which I think we've got used to people being rude and not wanting to speak to each other, and it sort of flips it on its head. And I didn't realise that still exists, where people are nice to each other and friendly and smile the laughs that we have are just.
I think in everyday life, it's almost. I think everybody's afraid of everybody else because you're doing something wrong, you're saying something wrong, but when you get into the middle of a field with 100 other vans, none of that matters. None of it matters because and it doesn't matter if you're driving £100,000 motorhome or a couple of grand's worth of van. Those two people will sit round that fire, drink, and have the biggest laugh going because it does not matter.
We were at Vanlife Chill Out last year and it was pitch black, and I went back to my van something. You couldn't see a hand in front of you. And I come out my van, and a shadow went past. And this voice says, "All right, mate." I said, "All right, pal." We stood there for about 3/4 of an hour having a conversation. And he was a film extra on a film somewhere in Scotland, while I was a film extra somewhere in North Wales at the same time, about 15, 20 years ago. And we got talking about being film extras on these films. We couldn't see each other. It was pitch black. I couldn't tell you what he looked like, but we got on like a bloody house on fire. And he disappeared into the darkness, and I went back to the campfire. And the next day, I wouldn't have recognised him. But we were like best mates when we left, you know, and we had so much in common as well as being film extras.
And this is a
Talking
thing.
about van life, it was hilarious.
And there's a typical example: pitch black. Don't know who he is, and had best time ever.
Yeah, yeah. And you get people, you know, they come on site, and the diversity is, I think it's absolutely brilliant. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you dress like. You can just be whatever you want to be.
Just be you.
But you,
And nobody bats an eyelid.
Yep.
And I mean, I used to work in an environment with people where it was all about being non-judgmental, and it was all about accepting or being tolerant of diversity. And it was really difficult sometimes to sort of work towards that. And then you come into van life, and it just happens naturally.
Yeah.
And
it's a
amazing.
rare quality in any part of life now.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that I can't think of more than one incident, 2 incidents, and something and nothing. You know, and I went to quite a few.
It's almost like a self-policing society, really, when you come amongst us.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So the nice thing is that, well, certainly for us, it's down south, this one, or further south than normal, because a lot of stuff always ends up in the Midlands or say, really up north. But
Well, I learned something when I went to Scotland last year.
It's
For the
a long
first
way.
time in my life, I became a southerner. So it kind of depends where you are in the country. Somebody said today, "Oh, they're all north."
it's
And
for
I-
us.
and I
We live
says-
on the south coast, so it's definitely all north for
Yeah,
us.
anything. Yeah, same here.
exactly.
I'm on the south coast, so as soon as soon as you get sort of 50 miles, you're going north from me.
But again, the location of it was fantastic because it's the first week. I think it's the first week of the school holidays.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it
Yeah,
is.
So a lot of people are heading to Cornwall, or even coming back from Cornwall or Devon, and all you have to do is turn onto the M4 at Bristol. I was going to say turn right, but it depends whether you're coming north or south.
and you're
What
You're
is
there.
it? 30 minutes
Yeah,
long.
about
the
half
M4.
hour, yeah,
and,
half hour long.
and it's right off the junction.
so.
So it's
and
so
we
easy
already.
to get
I
to.
know one couple here are coming to our event from here, from our event straight onto Europe. They leave in our event to go straight on the boat and off to Europe.
Yeah. So if you're coming backwards or forwards to Devon and Cornwall, just
Trip,
pop in and see
yeah.
us.
So the dates are
29th and the 30th of July, that weekend.
28th.
28th and 29th of July, or the weekend of 28th, 29th of July. I don't know. Oh yes, 28th, 29th.
It's a bloody leaflet.
So yes, it's the 28th and 29th of July.
okay.
People can start arriving early.
They can turn up on the Thursday if they want for an extra tenner.
Okay.
Um,
So it's the Newbury Showground.
Newbury Showground off the M4.
Yeah.
28th to the 30th of July.
Okay. So where to get the tickets from?
Go to our website. It's www.vanlifecelebration.com.
Okay, we'll put a link in the bottom of the video.
Click on book tickets and it will take you straight to the ticket site.
Okay.
You can also follow the links there. We have 2 Facebook pages. One is the business page, but we also have a community group page that you can join up to.
Yep.
And obviously we're releasing more updates, and there'll be more information coming out about the music and different things that we've got there.
And we'll put those links in the bottom as well for
Yep.
anybody who's
Yeah,
missed them.
And how much are the tickets?
Right, for if you're coming as a couple with up to 3 children, so 5 people, it's £95. If you're a single person with up to 3 children, it's £75. You got the extra night. If you come for the extra night on that, you can get electric hookup, but they are limited, very limited spaces on that. And I think that was it. We're not charging for dogs or anything like that, anything ridiculous. We've kept it simple. If you've got more than 3 children, there is a charge for an extra child. It's literally, we've kept it simple because this is what we found through feedback. There's so many ticket choices on different events that we've tried to keep it nice and easy, nice and short. So you think, right, I'll have that, boom, book, done. And it's simple.
I think we are opening something up as well where you can do 3 payments.
You took it right up. So this is the thing, again, because we do understand that paying for something like that in one go is hard. We are setting up something where people can fill out a form and pay in 3 easy payments and try and make it basically easier on the pocket. Again, the tickets aren't that expensive compared to a lot of events, but again, to make it even easier, that's why we're going to put that in place. If anybody is interested in paying by 3 payments, again, email us on info, or is it contact? I'm not too sure. Hang on a second.
We'll put a link.
We'll put a link into that one as well. Yeah.
Too many emails because I've only got the one for trading, mate.
Brilliant. So we've got.
But you can contact us through the website. There is a contact form on the website. So anybody who wants to pay by 3 easy payments goes to the website, goes to the contact page, send us a message.
The market that we've got runs from 12 till 5 every day. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
You can bring a table, you can put your stuff on the floor. It's only £10. We're not looking to make loads of money out of you, but we wanted to give you that opportunity if you want to get rid of extra stuff that you carry around in your van, or if it's arts and crafts.
It's mainly arts and craft, what people are making in their vans, or people
Yeah.
make to live on through van life.
Yeah.
So it's like a sort of more like a craft.
Yeah,
not,
and you don't have to book it or anything like that. Just come down on the day and
Again, there's going to be limited spaces, but because it's a big barn, we're not expecting that many. If we do expect that many, we will sort of accommodate and we will find space for people, because there is so much space available to fill that we shouldn't have that much of a problem. If we have that many people making stuff, it'd be really nice.
And that's what we're going to encourage. It'd be great if we were overwhelmed with people, because that's what we're about. We're about trying to open.
And we got Steve Cat Van Do. He's coming along, and some of the stuff he makes is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he's got. I remember when he was sort of selling a few bits and pieces, I said, "You need to be doing this," and I convinced him to get a gazebo and that's where he is now. And he says to me, he said, "If I would never have done it if it weren't for you telling me." But he's absolutely amazing, and when I see, it's like even this weekend, he's done really well this weekend.
Yeah.
He was at one event last year where he said, this is gone, I've got that problem. If I don't sell enough, I'm not going home. But he made that much money over the weekend. He could replace, I think it was his battery or something. He sorted that out, and he survived, and he does quite well now. Because some of the stuff, again, some of the stuff people make, it's just amazing. I'm blown away by the talent some people have got.
Yeah.
I've slipped up. That's what I was supposed to be doing. I'm an artist. I work with Driftwood and spent years trying to get around markets, doing stuff, and built a van to represent my work. And that's why I started coming to the festivals. And now I'm running a festival rather than doing this. So, we've got show vans, DJ, live music, kids entertainment, healing, wellbeing zone, trade bars, YouTubers, talks, pets welcome.
So, again, with our show, unlike other shows, we're not going to have a YouTubers area. We're not having a particular display vehicle area. There will be a few show vans there, sort of special little vans and stuff like that, but there's not masses amount. Again, with YouTubers, they will be on site. Some of them may park together, but there's not a specific area. You'll have to hunt around, look for everybody, and they're not going to be there just to talk to everybody, but like all of us, we do.
Yeah.
So, and I've been chatting to a girl who's going to be in control of the well-being and health area. She's amazing, absolutely amazing. Got a team of people together, and they're going to be offering some free stuff obviously selling some stuff as well.
She started at a festival. She just turned up at a festival and volunteered to do that because she was into it.
Mhm.
And it just snowballed.
Wow.
So yeah,
And you know, it sort of changed her life a bit, hasn't
Yeah.
it? She's that busy now.
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah. And again, she loves it. And she said, "Have you got anybody in control of it?" I said, "No." She goes, "Do you mind if I do it?" I said, "Go ahead.
Excellent.
Tell me what you got." But yeah, she's got some good stuff planned for that as well.
Mm.
And again, food. We're not fussy on food, but I wanted to make sure almost like we got quite a lot of food from around the world. So we've got some good food coming. We got the largest mobile bar in the country
Okay.
coming to the site. The guy is lovely. Chatted to him quite a few times. He's shown me his bars, and he's providing a massive bar inside. Because again, we know it's like when we're at festivals and events, you can wait ages for a drink. Prices seem to be quite good, and outside as well. So if that bar's busy, we're having a bottle bar outside. And we've also got alcoholic slush puppies coming. I'm looking forward to that.
You didn't tell me that.
Called Plush. Well, it was a little bit of a boo-boo on my bit because I saw Plush in the van. It looked really good because it was a VW, and I thought, and the roof opens up, and I thought that's fantastic. Plush slush puppies out of a van. That's perfect. It wasn't until I actually filled the tray for them, I realised it was alcoholic as well. I thought, oh well, in for a penny, in for a pound.
I have this habit of walking around the field, not being able to find my van for a couple of hours.
Yeah, good at that.
Did that at Stratford.
Yeah, I know.
On the Sunday night when a lot of the vans had left, the geography changed.
Change, yeah, because all the vans are gone. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I was next to that
And there's
yellow
a
one,
white
which is
tent there and a white tent here. And we went in Sunday night, and there was a couple of girls with us, friends, and I said to this girl, I'll walk you back to where the footpath is to go to your van. And halfway there, I came out, my glasses were up here, I couldn't see anything, it was dark. And I've never known anything like it. I just lost complete orientation. I says, I think you better walk me home. Anyway, she left me in the middle of nowhere. It took me an hour to find my van. I couldn't find it. I was completely lost.
wow.
But it's
Completely
true, when
lost.
vans disappear, the whole sort of geography of the site goes
Yeah.
completely.
It changes.
It's not the first time I've done it. I've done it a few times, wandering around in dark trying to find my van.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
I'm not going to babysit him.
Well, I don't drink much, do I? It only takes me a couple of pints and not anybody's.
Oh dear.
Awesome. So, website for the tickets.
www.vanlifecelebration.com.
Yeah, links will be in the bottom as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
That's my pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
I don't know about it's a pleasure with him, but